A lot of concern about what's happening in Washington and what that's going to mean and what it's already meaning here in California for individuals, for our universities, for our businesses. And so I think people respect the fact that I came into politics to stand up to Donald Trump. I ran for office for the first time after his election in 2016 and took him on in Congress. So I think there's a lot of concern, including from people in both political parties, Republican or Democrat, about what do his actions mean for California. And we need a governor who's going to be smart and tough, who's going to have the resilience and the strength to figure out how we're going to keep important services and our important values thriving during the Trump presidency, as well as tackling our long-standing homegrown challenges, including, most importantly, housing affordability, which I would say is an area where San Diego and Mayor Gloria, I think, are doing some really impressive things.
So today, guys, we've got to speak about Katie Porter, who is running to be the new and next governor of California, taking place of their star pupil and the love of their lives, Mr. Gavin Newsom, who keeps notoriously dropping the ball, as they do. I mean, that's just the job of a politician. But anyways, I'm here to speak about Mr. Newsom. We're going to talk about Miss Porter. As you can see there, she was very articulate, very composed. And these are qualities that you want in your politician. But there's also another side. And President Trump has shown the world the other side of how you really shouldn't conduct yourself. Although it does lead to some hilarious moments and footage. But it's also very inflammatory at times and can exacerbate an already hypersensitive situation that's not going very well. And Miss Porter is a repeat offender at that. And as you'll see in this next clip, you get to see the other side of her and what California has to look forward to. Roll it.
We've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters. Okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered.
I don't care.
Follow-ups.
I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation in which you ask me about every issue on this list. And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Ms.
And
Porter,
we're just going to circle around.
I am an investigative
I have never
reporter.
had to do this before, ever.
You've never had to have a conversation with
to end
a
an
reporter?
interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of I'm me? I'm running for governor because I'm a leader. So I am going to make...
So you're not going to answer questions from reporters? Okay, why don't we go through? I will continue to ask follow-up questions because that's my job as a journalist, but I will go through and ask these, and if you don't want to answer, you don't want to answer. So nearly every legislative...
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you, and I don't want this all on camera.
Now that is who you'll actually be getting. Politicians love to wear the dual mask. They love to have a feign existence and put on a show, very performative. But wait, it gets so much better. It gets so much better.
Or pollution and other problems, and the state could lose.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay.
I wanted to.
Okay, it does. Okay. You also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay.
Time speaking publicly since the now 2 viral videos. What do you want people to know about you? And do you have the temperament to be the next governor of California?
When I look at those videos, I want people to know that I understand that I could have handled things better. I think I'm known as someone who's able to handle tough questions, who's willing to answer questions. And I want people to know that I really value the incredible work that my staff can do. I think people who know I can be tough, but I need to do a better job expressing appreciation for the amazing work that my team does.
Should California voters feel confident that there aren't any more Katie Porter videos out there?
Well, what I know is that I could have done better in those moments. I'm going to be focused on earning their votes and earning their trust. That's true in every election. I've only ever had tough elections. So I'm absolutely aware that I'm going to have to continue to show them. I'm going to have to answer every question. I'm glad I got to continue that interview and finish that interview and answer all her questions. And that's what I'm going to continue to do, to show Californians not only that I understand their problems, but that I have the will and the strength of character to actually get something done about them.
But not just the CBS interview, the interview with the staffer. Can voters be confident that there won't be another one of those videos that's going to come to light?
What I do know is that I could have done better in that situation.
But that's not a no. So is there potentially another video that we're going to see?
Nikki, I'm going to be honest with you. I know that video was several years ago, as you know, and I apologize to the staffer. That's super important to me, and will continue to try to hold myself to do better. That's what I can promise.
But not that there's not going to be any more videos, because that's what people are wondering. Are we going to see something else like that?
I can tell you what I've told you, which is that I am taking responsibility for this situation, and I'm also not going to back down for fighting back for California, from being tough. I don't think this is a moment where the same old is going to cut it.
I'd like to thank Miss Julie Watts of CBS California and Nikki Lorenzo of KTLA 5 for being good journalists. They pushed, did not let Miss Porter steamroll them in regards to her performative answers and her half-hearted attempts at an apology, or at least with Miss Lorenzo, but also trying to commandeer the interview with Miss Watts. So thank you, ladies, very much. You guys are a credit to journalists. Now, back to Miss Porter. You know, it's just something they constantly do, these Democrats and Republicans both alike. Once they're outed, or something surfaces about them that shows them in a negative light, they've gotten a bit more mastery at the half-hearted accountability aspect of it. But as you can see, Miss Lorenzo was pressing Miss Porter about whether or not there were other videos, if there's going to be something else to resurface, like she was, you know, how horrible she was to her staffer. That is unacceptable. You're a servant even to that staffer, Miss Porter. She's not your lesser. But a lot of these self-entitled, pompous individuals, especially when they get a little bit of power, tend to believe that that's what they are. They believe they're better than everyone. They believe they're better than the people beneath them. You heard about it all the time with Kamala Harris, and how a lot of people were quitting from her team. You hear it with a lot of politicians. But I don't believe the apology. I don't believe it at all with Miss Porter. I think she is once again putting on a show, wearing a mask, just to gain votes, because that's all they really care about. They care about power and money. And this is on both sides. Like I'm sick of the split and how people think, oh, this side is the ones that's funded by the oligarchs, and this side's the one that's funded by the billionaires, and they're for the billionaires, and we're against them. No, you're not. No, you're not. It doesn't matter what country you're in. It does not matter what your title is. If you're in power, especially in today's Washington, you're all about that money. All about it. That's the most important thing. Whether you're a capitalist or a socialist, it's about those greenbacks. There's nothing supersedes that. And people don't want to see it. They don't want to see it when they're out here spouting all this wonderful, these pleasantries. They're whispering these pleasantries in everyone's ears about fixing this system and fixing that system, and we're gonna give all this free stuff away. Well, none of it's ever free. It's not free. It's not free. So what Ms. Porter's promising, is, I believe, is once again their lies. She's not going to accomplish anything. Just like Mr. Newsom shooting down anything that could have actually worked towards true reparations in the state of California, he nixed, like he did a couple years back. The same thing, because they're never going to give reparations because that money has to come from somewhere, and they don't have a bankroll like that. Their bankroll is from us. We fund them. So they're not going to gain votes by trying to squeeze blood from a turnip, by trying to squeeze more out of us. It's not going to work. So they lie. They just lie. So Ms. Porter is on BS 100%. She's been asked by several of her running mates to step out of the race, and I believe that's what she needs to do. She is not of any electable material to represent people. One thing I've said to multiple people, it's hard to find a balance between logic and the use of your mind and emotion and the use of your heart. It's hard to find that balance in there. And Miss Porter is running on a lot of emotion. Like I said, she can say pretty things and then dress it all up and put a little bow on it. It looks wonderful. But when you take into consideration that she's a repeat offender, her ex-husband, Matthew Hoffman, several allegations of abuse, her bad parenting, talking about pouring hot potatoes on his head because she didn't like the way he was cooking them, saying that he was an effing idiot and effing incompetent, constantly verbally abusing him in front of their children. And they're in court documents, certified and sealed, or not sealed, but certified court documents of these actions. And she is showing this side of her in these interviews. She's abusive to her staffer. She doesn't want to answer the tough questions she says she's all about. So that is also incorrect. So California, if you guys vote for this woman to be your governor, we're going to enjoy it from the outside looking in, because she's not going to be the governor of my state. But it's going to be horrible for you. So I wish you guys the best of luck in that. That being said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Trying to get this channel going, and look to my next videos. I have several on here now. Not as many as most, but enough for you to get a basic gist. So thank you.